is asking about Surah Al-Kafirun, yeah? Maybe the brother, he knows very well. Surah Al-Kafirun. Yeah, you have Kafirun, those who are unbeliever. You have what you believe, and you follow what you believe.
Oh, you have your
and we
religion, we have ours.
And we
So,
please let me finish it.
there's a problem with that.
No, yes, I know.
There's a problem with that, right?
If you want to say
What I
like
want
that,
to say
yes,
is,
but
in
what I would
the
say
end,
is,
my religion
like let's say
and
when
what
Moses
God
separated
sent to us to respect
the
what you
sea,
believe.
you hold his
But
hand
do
for
not
like very long.
underestimate.
Yeah,
Do not
and the strap for very
underestimate
long.
what I
Praying
believe,
for
as
the
I
power
should
comes from
respect
God.
your belief.
So,
What I'm saying is,
Jesus
at the end of the day,
like he
you're
said,
pushing
I
your
am the one
ideology.
Okay.
You're pushing your ideology for me to accept it.
Okay.
Which is, I
Three
respect
things
it.
now.
It's the
Okay.
There's a
miracle.
big difference in here.
Okay.
When you're pushing your ideology to me,
It's the
you
freedom
must respect
and the
it.
Let me
And for
answer
me,
three things for you.
Every
I'm
miracle
really sorry, I'm
comes
not
from
finished.
Three.
And
Okay.
when I'm respecting your
by himself.
ideology, this is a huge
And
difference
that's
of
why even if
belief
you read it,
in
if
the
you read
of
it,
belief.
when Peter was
Not
walking
just
on
to
the water with
understand
him,
it.
yeah, and
Now
then he
can
was
you give me
walking,
your three things?
and then he looked away from Jesus.
I am not pushing anything on you. If you want to know God, that is between you and God, right? Now, enough. Now, the second one will be, when it comes to respecting religions,
I would.
Abraham did not respect the religion of his people. Muhammad did not respect the religion of the Quraysh. Jesus did not respect anything about you going against him. So I have no reason to respect anything that goes against Christ. Number two. Now the last one will be, when we talk about God, when we talk about religion, particularly those verses you told me about, you have your religion, I have mine, right? We know with the Isbab Nuzul, right, that Muhammad received revelation over 23 years in different circumstances. The ones that sound nice, the come to common terms with the Christians, the Christians are the closest to us. I'm going. Cross. Stop. So all those verses are verses that came earlier. The later verses now are a little bit different. Fight those who don't believe. Fight those who don't believe until exactly, right? So the respect goes out the window because now the Christians and the Jews and the polytheists, they're worse of creatures. When beforehand they weren't so bad. So that is my issue. Ultimately, I don't think Islam in particular is something that is egregiously bad. But anything that takes you away from God is not doing you anything. And I think that's what Islam does.
Absolutely.
From my view.
Absolutely. But it's not that mean I agree with you. But what I'm saying is,
Well, you agree with me in the sense that everything that's away from God is bad.
No. You're very far from this. Those who they are, you thinking
All right,
that they
that's
committed
me. That's me.
yeah, those who you thinking that they committed sins and they are now we have a big issue in different individual places. Yeah, they've been chosen by God, but who you choosing this? You've been choosing by people to listen to you and disagree and agree with you. Okay, so they're giving you opportunity to speak about the holy people. Can you see? You don't have the sense for way that how we are believing in them and you believing in them.
Okay, so there's differences in how you guys verify your prophets to how we do.
No. By the way, all this prophet, what we're talking about, we have in the last chapter of Surah Al-Baqarah, the last 10 verses. Go and I will advise you to just read them. He's telling us, as a believer, if we didn't believe from Adam until Muhammad, we are not Muslims.
Do you believe in Daniel?
Exactly.
Do you believe in him?
Yes.
Do you believe in him?
Yes.
Who is he?
Daniel is for us is Dawood.
No,
Okay.
not David.
David.
Daniel.
David.
I don't know what, but it's all this.
So
prophet.
how
You don't
can you
want to
believe in
you don't want
someone?
to three- You don't want the three prophet that has been mentioned in the Holy Book.
Yeah.
In the three Holy Book, the Old
Well,
Scripture.
there's thousands of them in the Old Testament, so
Yeah.
you don't know who they are. So how can you?
Yes,
Do-
there's some.
do-
That's
do you
what
know
God he told us.
Samson?
That's what God he told us. He said to me, there is none. There is some that I have mentioned to you. You will know, and some of them you don't know. But you must believe in them. So we are believing in them. So we have no any issue.
But how
Doesn't
can
matter
you
what it is.
believe in something you don't know? How's that possible?
Because we have from look, you don't know the location of God. That was the main when I came. He said we don't know the physical.
God doesn't have a location.
Exactly.
In my view.
Yes, God, he told us what is his location. Okay?
That-
This is your view.
that's a problem for you guys, not me.
But what I'm saying is, God, he says, you don't have to see me by your own eyes, but I have give you brain to think.
Okay.
Yeah. So our brain, whatever I believe that in God, in this holy book, what is the holy book itself is pointing one thing. It says, don't believe and follow what you want, and do not believe what you don't want. Okay. So that means it's not cannot be zigzag. Oh, I believe in Jesus, but I don't believe in Moses. No, no, no. You must be. If you want to be a Muslim, you have to follow those. You have to believe in them and the book what I have sent to them. So, if you don't believe in them, you don't believe in Muhammad.
How
That's what
can
it is.
you
Yeah.
believe in something you don't know or
Yeah, that's what I'm saying
understand?
to you. The sense,
Book is,
the
Right?
brain,
the book
the
is like,
sense,
you know,
the
verifying
brain.
that. Quran is
God.
verifying that you need to believe
Yeah.
in Jesus
This
Christ.
is
You believe in
this is
Adam,
what
peace
believe
be
our
upon him,
holy.
or
This
everyone, all
this
these
is
like
this is the miracle.
Moses,
What is God?
Moses.
You know
And
what
what
is the
about the
miracle?
ones the Quran doesn't mention, right?
You know what is the miracle
There's
of
no information about them without reading
no
something
no?
else,
What
like
is
the
the
Bible.
miracle?
In the Quran.
The miracle of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Well, there is none in the Quran.
No. The miracle of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the Quran.
Well, the Quran
Yeah.
doesn't say that it's a miracle of Muhammad, so
Well, look.
You know, in the
There is
Quran it is said that
Yes.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send prophet
to every nation.
all nations, to
Yeah.
all
And
nations.
he will not judge
No,
them
no,
if
no.
needed.
Don't forget this word. Merciful, the whole
Now,
mankind.
here's my question.
The whole mankind.
Who did Allah send to the English people?
Good question.
Right?
Good question. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I tell you, you know, all these people. You know, in the world,
There's
there are
tens of
There are
thousands.
like different people
Yes.
living in Amazon,
Sure thing.
living in, you know,
Yep.
every part of the world in
Even
India,
America.
remotest,
Yeah.
Americans,
Yeah,
even
for
America,
example.
Red Indians.
Right?
Okay. Now you are just thinking. You are just you know, you are unfortunately you only consider English people as a civilization.
Out of curiosity, I'm just saying.
But that's why I'm saying that.
Because I can say anything. Like, who did he send to Zulu? I can say anything.
Zulu, Zulu.
I can say
exactly.
anything.
Zulu they got their proper rules. They are living there. They follow that the system they have. Okay. Therefore, the thing is, God sent someone there, prophet there, definitely. But because of the time, you know, because the long time before, they kept few things which is like carry on their society. You know, those few things, transferable things, which they continue in their society, but they forgot the essence of the message, the real message of God.
So-
Similarly, in India, there are like Vedas, there are like you know, these books, okay, old, very old books. They
Yes.
are like some of them, they are like, you know, thousands of years old.
sure.
You know, but they got the message. They got even the message they got. They are talking about oneness of all. If you read the book of the Hindus, they consolidate the message of oneness of God. You know.
So most religions actually just have one God, particularly smaller local religions.
because
most of the time, right?
Because
It's simpler.
because somehow the other, okay, is the God actually sent a
My brother, can I
prophet
just ask
to
you
deliver
what
their
exactly-
So
message.
what I could say,
What
one second,
exactly your
what I
belief is?
what I could say in that
That's
regard,
why-
right,
because
is
I
that
want to know
most
where-
peoples around the world tend to have only one ruler, for the most part, right? So in the same way that most civilizations, far long into the past and even now, generally would have one ruler, it would only make sense that the religion would also reflect an instance where there was one supreme ruler and maybe a few lesser spiritual deities, similar to you having a king and a council or a president and governors.
You know what we are doing actually. You know, basically. God actually, this is the practice God follow. Okay, that God sent one prophet. Okay, this is the practice, not just for one nation. This is for several nations. You can trace back. You know,
It's
God
actually like you're starting from the nursery until you are graduated.
God
This
sent
is
up
what happened.
how it works. The
It's
God,
Adam to all this.
No.
They passing to each other.
Yeah.
They passing that word.
But there is a
and
sys-
this is we have to believe it in one to the one to the one to the other one. This is the
but
last,
there is a system.
This is the last word.
God
of God,
sent
so
God
we have to believe it.
No, God follow a system. God sent His prophet. Okay, when the nation, the people in the nation become like aggressive, they stop believing, they stop worshipping idols, they start worshipping idols, they do all evil things. They made like life hell for all common people. You know, then God sent a prophet. Okay, and when a prophet advised them, prophet admonished them, prophet warned them. Okay, deliver the message of God that there is one God, and that is like
They talk Allah
and I
about one
would say
thing. there is one God.
Yeah,
Follow it.
there is one God.
They didn't
Okay,
say
and this
follow
is like a
Human beings still do evil things.
Yes, that's why.
exactly
That's
because
why,
it's by
that's why
instinct.
Jesus Christ is
It's
coming
by
back for that.
it's by
That's what he
no
told us.
no please.
Yeah,
You're
we're
making
waiting, we're
confused.
waiting for the Messiah.
I'm keeping track though. Yeah.
Okay, basically, you know what I'm saying that there is this is the pattern. Okay, and then what happened? The prophet delivered the message. Okay, and just after a few years or maybe whatever the year, he passed away. Okay, then the people after his like caliph or people who just become his like follow him, and they started practicing that. Slowly with the time, things are changing. They introduce their own thing. The political element enter, and then they become like whoever is rich become more stronger. Started his own entering his own things into the religion or into that system, and then in the end completely he became so solely powerful. He controlled everything, and then then he started again that cruelties, atrocities, injustice, everything. And then after few centuries, then it's continued. Then God sent another person, another prophet, just to warn them, to admonish them, and to just to because that's why whatever the goodness we see, this is from God. Whatever is in any society, I concluded that any society, in like maybe in Hutus, maybe in somewhere in somewhere remotest part of India, maybe in Red Indian. Don't you think that Red is before Americans, when Americans started killing them, these innocent people, okay, these Red Indians, they don't have any good things to do.
Okay.
They got principle, they got everything.
Do you want me to give my view on that?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't only believe that morality comes from prophets. Okay.
Morality comes from not from prophet.
People
from
are
Allah.
capable of coming up with moral concepts independently, because we hold in Christianity, even in Islam, that we are made in the image of God. What does that mean? The Bible says, for example, that the law of God is written on the hearts of man. So it is possible for people to come to an understanding of what is moral, what is correct, without God. But without God, people will always miss the mark. Okay? So, when it comes to like the Native Americans, the Zulus, remote parts of India, sure thing, you can potentially say that prophets were sent there. But the problem with that, in the Quran, all the prophets that are mentioned are only the Jewish ones. Right? Now, yes, the Jews are one people amongst tens of thousands. Why is the Quran so focused only on the messengers that were sent through the Jews and not anybody else? You would think that if they were sent to remote parts of India, to the Zulus, to the old school Nigerians, to the Egyptians, whatever the case might be, you would think the Quran would mention them.
Very good.
But it just doesn't.
Really,
Isn't that weird?
You're absolutely right. Okay, you can. If God obviously, Bani Israel or Jews prophet. Okay, God sent prophet to Ethiopia. Okay, these David and Ethiopian. There was like a David, during the David prophet David. He was talking in the Quran or in the Islamic book or
Is this Solomon or is it David?
Solomon is not David. David
Yeah.
is Dawood.
Yep.
David is Dawood actually.
Yeah, and he's the father of Solomon.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that in we read in the Quran or in other holy books, we read about about Egypt, we read about Ethiopia,
Okay.
we read about. But obviously, because the problem is the house of God is there in Makkah. Therefore, everything is around Makkah, around that society. It's like is the purpose of is a discussion.
So
Is the purpose of
why
discussion.
not like name a prophet that was sent to Yemen?
Yeah.
Or one that
Yeah,
was
Yemen,
sent.
there is a prophet. There are prophets in Yemen as well, bro.
Do we know any?
Yemen is
Do we know any by name from the past that are mentioned in the Quran?
There are like these. There are in even in part of Saudi Arabia is huge. Saudi Arabia is huge. Okay. Before that, I think it was part of Yemen actually. Yemen was big.
Before that, it's called Jazeera al-Arab.
Arab,
And he
okay.
knows that exactly.
Yeah.
When the Prophet is coming there, you're talking in knowledge. You know this.
Not
It's all they coming in Jazeera al-Arab, the land of Arab.
Because
there
of
is
the-
no Saudi Arabia.
I'm not
there is no
disputing
this.
that. Saudi Arabia was the new thing, I'm aware.
And because
Saudi Arabia is not new.
It is new.
and
The House of
because
Saud
of the
is
house
new.
of God. because of the house of God. Okay, none other than that.
Right, but you see, with the point that I'm mentioning, right? Isn't it funny that even though they call like the Levant, for example, right? That section of the
Yeah,
world,
Levant, yeah,
right?
exactly.
Isn't it? Yeah. So even though the house of God, as you say, is there, and that it's more concerned with what's going on around the house of God than anything else, isn't it funny still that the majority of the 23 prophets that are mentioned are all Jewish ones instead? Isn't that funny?
Zulkarnain was in Iran.
We don't know that for sure.
I mean, like, it's history. You know, you can't. We don't know. We don't.
Yeah.
We're not sure about anything.
Well, because the problem with Zulkarnain is that generally no one talks about him save for Muslims.
Yeah,
So
exactly. I mean, like, that's
a bit problematic.
Because if you read Iranian Persian, you know,
Yep.
they claim that Zulkarnain was a Persian king.
The problem
actually,
is,
you know.
whatever it is you're referencing, does this come pre or post Islam?
Pre-Islam, not post-Islam.
So you're saying that there's somewhere in Iran where some kind of inscription exists, maybe like in Babylon or something, where it talks about Zulkarnain going on 3 courses to the place of setting of the sun, and to a place where they didn't know his language, and to a place that was being troubled,
My brother,
and then
I'm
building
really,
a wall.
I'm really sorry. Anyway, it's nice
If
to
you
talk
come
to
again,
you.
we can talk again, all right?
Nice to talk to you.
Yeah.
I just come visit from Manchester. God give me this will to stand in front of you to talk to you. My Allah, who I believe, to guide me and you to the good path. Yeah. And thank you.
I believe it's good to believe in
Yeah.
God, but it's also important that you believe in the right God.
Alhamdulillah, I know.
There is one God.
There is one true God.
There's been one.
There
is one God.
Thanks
So,
to God.
for
very well
example-
If you are a
that
true
I know
Christian,
that I-
if you are a true Christian, there should be one God.
But listen,
There shouldn't be like many.
there
But
are-
I asked
there
you,
are
you didn't
many-
answer to me.
no.
This is my last question, please,
Sure.
if you don't mind.
What I would say
do you
is
follow?
that there are many
what are
gods.
You follow, brother?
Huh?
What are you following?
I follow the true and living God,
Which is
the God of Christianity, the Father, Son, and Spirit.
okay.
The God who, because he so loved the world, sent his Son to die for
Okay.
us,
The Father.
and by whoever believes in
Okay.
him
Are you
can gain
Christian?
eternal life.
Are you
I
Christian?
will be Christian, yes.
Fully Christian. There is no this
I'm
Jehovah Witnesses.
I'm not a
all this
I'm not a little bit
organization,
Hindu. No,
all this
I'm
new
just Christian.
organization, you know, all these new things. They like we have Shia, and we have this kind of new things.
I'm just a regular Christian.
What I'm saying is,
I believe in the Father, Son, and Spirit.
I hope my God will give us the good guidance for all
Amen.
of us here.
Amen.
This is the best things, and honestly, nice to talk to you. My heart is very clear about
Look
that.
into who Jesus actually is. Read about Jesus.
Alhamdulillah,
Find out who he is.
believe me,
Find out what he
believe me,
did.
let me give
and then decide for yourself after that.
Let me give you one thing. Go read Surah Maryam. You will know who's Jesus Christ.
Surah 19.
Surah Maryam.
I've read Surah 19.
Mary.
I've read
which
18
is
actually,
Allah
and 19.
subhanahu wa ta'ala in the whole world, only one blessed woman in the whole world, and it's only her, the
Well,
mother of Jesus Christ.
It doesn't really say that in the Quran that she's the only blessed woman.
You said me go read. Okay,
One of the
what
blessed
are you
women.
pointing me to read about Jesus Christ? What is your
I've
point?
read Surah 19. Oh, right, sorry.
I know
Okay.
the Old Testament. I
So-
read it from A to Z.
Okay.
I know the Torah, Injil. I know Zabur. Do you know Zabur?
Okay, so
Okay. I know what
you've read the Old Testament,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
includes
so
the Torah and the Zabur.
You have this.
Awesome.
You call it Old Testament. We don't call it Old Testament.
Okay.
We have it called Torah and Injil.
Well, don't forget that
Zabur,
the Torah
Quran.
is only the 5 books.
Yeah.
There's still like
No,
more
you have,
than that.
You have it. It's absolutely. And I tell you something. There is something out of all everyone knowledge, and maybe my brother he will know that. Okay. There is something it's called al asba. Those who they are believing in God. Okay. Go read about those who they are not Christian and who they are not Muslim, and God he is mentioning them.
Like
that they
Abraham,
believing in
for
Allah.
example, right?
Very good. No, not follow. We
The
follow
Quran
Abraham.
says that, right? That Abraham wasn't a Christian, he
what
wasn't a
Eid al-Adha?
Muslim.
You know what Eid al-Adha? Eid
Sorry?
al-Adha. Eid al-Adha. The Eid of Adha. Eid of sacrifice of sheep.
It's from Abraham.
This is exactly we're following Ibrahim. Assalamu alaikum. We're following Adam.
Because
Alhamdulillah Rabbil
Ibrahim was a
Alameen.
Muslim.
We're following Sulaiman.
Just because
So,
you say
this is-
words doesn't
No,
mean you're
it's-
following somebody.
No, yes, we follow. We believing in them, not just following. Anyway, my brother, I'm really.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, yeah? Go read that.
I know that, but you need to knowledge yourself more.
If
about
you
God.
know that, then you would know that Christ told you to pray in his name.